Do you know if supply and demand works for you? I had a request from someone to show you supply and demand. It's very similar to the system that we use, the support and resistance and everything that we do on a daily basis. And it's pretty much, I've been trading price action for 30 years now, and it's made me profitable over the years. It takes time. You don't learn it in a day. But the big question is, will supply and demand work? Does supply and demand work in the stock market? And I'm going to answer that question because we're going to go to the charts today, and I'm going to show you how you can add supply and demand into your trading. I have done a video like this before. It's not the first time we've talked about supply and demand. And that's because I've only done one or maybe two videos on this because I don't use supply and demand as often as I use support and resistance. Very often supply and demand will kind of just fit into support and resistance. And also it's not as frequent on the charts because you really need to pick your supply and demand out on a more careful basis, not just any old spot or any old place where the money is lying. Come with me today and let's go and talk about how supply and demand actually works. I've noticed that a few of you guys are once again overcomplicating things, doing the really complicated up, down, the stars align on the left, the moon shining, and we take a trade and that sort of thing. I've noticed that a few of you have kind of gone a little bit out of whack again, a little bit on the wrong track. I've got to bring you back to simplify things. You're getting overcomplicated about your trading again, and you don't want to do that. A few of you guys have commented on you want to know the exact time and the exact this and pinpoint this and pinpoint that line and what have you. And you'll notice that what I'm showing you here, firstly, these are not live charts. I'm not going live. This is not live. This is an education. I'm showing you how you can trade with support and resistance, and today how you can trade with supply and demand. So I'm showing you a basic system. The chart that you're going to see here today, by the time you see it, will probably have not expired, but it won't be valid on a trading day anymore. You're not looking at a live trade. This is not a live video. Somebody asked me to go live, and yeah, I may think about it one day, guys, when we've got maybe 50,000 or 100,000 subscribers, and it's worth my while learning how to go live, because really, guys, at the moment, I wouldn't even know how to go live on YouTube. I haven't figured that out yet. It's not my core business, number one. And this is all free, remember? I'm doing this for free. Firstly, I would really have to figure all that out, which I'm sure it's not that difficult, but I will figure it out one day if we get to that point. But at the moment, I don't see the necessity behind that. And if I was to go live right now for you guys, there's only going to be a few guys on the show, and really, we'll get there. Believe me, we'll get there one day, and it's not going to be today. Because the other thing that concerns me personally is it might take away my concentration from the actual trading, and I'll be trying to concentrate on how to make YouTube work rather than my trades. So let's go there in a future date. Let's have a look at that, maybe when the channel grows to an immense size and it is necessary, and I would love to do it, but like I say, it's something I've got to actually figure out. As I say, I've noticed a few of you guys starting to overcomplicate things. Don't overcomplicate things. Keep it simple. Keep it as simple as you possibly can. As I've always said to you, wait for the green bar to confirm and go for it. Don't wait for the stars to align on the left and the moon to turn bright on the right and the sun to come up in the morning before you take a trade. It's a 50-50 game. Trading is a 50-50 game. You win half, you lose half, and that's it. There is no easy way around this. There's no perfect system. I know there's a bunch of trading guys out there promoting to you that you can buy their course or you can make $1 million in a week, and they show you all their Lambos and all their trading statements and all the rest of it. I'm not that guy. I'm just not that guy. I'm not interested in all that bullshit. To be honest with you guys, at the end of the day, all these fake BS trading statements that they make up and the Lambos and the Ferraris and all that, I'm pretty sure it's just to get you to buy something or whatever the case of them, and it's not true, because trading is like any other job. You earn, you make your money, and you get through life. This is not a quick fix. This is not a get rich quick system. You can get lucky, and everyone waits for that big trade, and yeah, you make a lot of money. There is a lot of money to be made. Like I've said before, you can easily make $1,000 a day, if not more. But just remember, what you make depends on what you invest. So if you're trading trading $200 a point, yeah, you're gonna make easy money if you're profitable, but you can also lose easy money if you're not profitable. So before you start taking those huge points, be very careful of the size of your trade. Trade within your means. I always tell you that. Trade within your means. But I'm rambling on now. But guys, remember, trading's risky, guys. So I've just got to tell you this. Trading is risky. 80% of traders do lose money. And on that subject, I saw a couple of you guys mentioning that you're struggling with the 5 minutes and that sort of thing. If you're a beginner, guys, or if you're even in your first year of trading, don't be trading on the 5-minute charts unless you got lady luck living with you, because the 5-minute charts will ruin you. It's 99% of traders lose money on the 5-minute charts. If you're trading higher time frames, 1 hour, 4 hour day, swing trading, that sort of thing, that's the best way to get involved in the stock market and to see your way forward. I've seen the best traders in the world lose on the 5-minute charts, and you're thinking that you're going to beat them. I don't know, guys. I've seen pro traders that struggle on the 1-hour charts, and really to think that you're going to be better than a pro trader when you're starting out it's like thinking you're going to be a brain surgeon when you're studying to be a medical doctor in your first 6 months. It's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. While you're here, don't forget, I've got a Forex book for you in the description. It's a free Forex book all about trends, and it's there for you. Go and grab it. It's a PDF. Download it for yourself. And also, on top of which, hop down to the secret blog. Every trading day, I put a trade of the day out there for you so that you can get ahead with your trading. It's just an idea. It's not trading advice. It's just there so that you can see what everybody else is trading and if you're thinking along the same lines or not. If you're not thinking along the same lines, this is not a problem, because as I say, trading is a 50-50 game. Some people believe it's a sell, some people believe it's a buy, and that's basically how it goes. Without further ado, guys, let's go and have a look at the charts and let's go and check how you can trade with supply and demand. Right, so we're going to talk about supply and demand. Supply and demand is a very simple, straightforward system, but you need to know what it is. Now, what supply and demand actually is at the end of the day is there's money lying in specific areas down at specific points, or up at specific areas at specific points. Does it really matter what it's called? No, but there'll be some supply at the top and there'll be some demand at the bottom. It's not the end of the world which way around it is. And don't play into names. Names are not that important. Everybody gets all complicated about names of things and starts worrying about all the rubbish instead of actually making some money. Now, the best way to find a supply level, okay, I got that wrong already. A demand level, okay. What you got to do, look for 3 good bars like that. Okay, there's 3 big bars. Now, those 3 big bars are telling you that there's a lot of orders waiting at the bottom of this. So what you do is you take the first red candle before those 3 green bars, and just draw it out. And that's your demand level. So what's happening now on this particular instance is this price has come back down into this demand level. So it will most likely bounce out. And that's as simple as the system gets. Okay, you're looking for a green bar coming out of there because there's a whole lot of money waiting in this area. The downside to this system is you're never quite sure how many orders are lying there and how much money is lying there. It's not as simple as, oh no, it's going to work every time. Doesn't do that. For example, over here, if you come down to the bottom here, there's some demand here. Waiting, but will it ever get there? Maybe, maybe not. That's the point. You can do this on any time frame, by the way, and you don't have to go to higher time frames or anything like that. This is not an area because you see it's got green, red, green, red, green, red. It's not an area. And also those candles are a little bit small. You're looking for a serious batch of candles, like 3 big ones are the best. Even this one here, it's 1 green, big, long one. Not really a great area. It failed. If you look at it, if you'd used this as your demand area, what would have happened? It would have broken straight through here and it didn't work at all. And the reason for that is you don't have 3 strong green candles behind it, because that's what you actually need. Now, even here, if you look at this one, this could be considered a nice supply area because you've got a lot of red candles below it. You see that? And what you're waiting for is you're effectively waiting for the price to come back up to that area and take some money off there and go back down. And it most probably will. Most probably will. There's a very good chance of that. If you look at basic resistance and basic support levels, you'll probably find that you'll find confluence in that particular scenario. So you've got some supply up there because there's a lot of red candles that have come down here. There's quite a few red candles, so there's probably a bit of supply in there. But your best is serious candles like this. Now here, would this have been a good supply area? Probably not, because the green candle was so long before that, and the red candles behind it never actually broke the area. So you need that as well. You kind of need these red candles on the supply area to break downwards and break below the last positive. So this was a supply area. If you look at that, there you go. You could have drawn it out, and it actually hit over here. And that's where it took the orders and carried on down, but then it kind of filtered its way back through. And that's the other downside to the supply and demand system, is effectively it only works kind of once, maybe twice. It's not like support where it goes back in, test, goes back in, test, goes back in, test. With supply, it'll kind of go back in once and then find its way back out. Let's have a look at some other products. A lot of people ask me about commodities, so let's have a look at gold. What do you see if you look at gold? What I see here is this was what we would have termed as a demand area. And can you see why? Effectively, you've got your red candle and then you've got green, 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 and your green candles were quite prominent to the top. So you draw your demand area in here thinking, well, when it gets here, there's a lot of orders sitting here. It'll probably take them out and go back up. But what happened here was there actually wasn't enough money sitting here to hold this up, and it broke through and it's gone down. Now, this is probably also was a support area, and it's now become a resistance, and it's most likely going to continue on down. All I'm saying is the supply and demand doesn't always work. This demand failed simply because there wasn't enough money lying here to pick up. You'll probably find there's a good support here, which has now become resistance, and this is probably a damn good short trade as well. So let's actually come back and look at this. Anyway, besides the point, what you do have now, though, is another supply area up here. You see this? Because there's a lot of strong red candles going down. So had this not broken this, it had a good chance of actually just going back up to here and taking those orders and coming back down. Will it do that? You never know. If it breaks through this and goes back up, yeah, most likely. There's money. What it means is there's money lying in this particular area. It could also be lying a little bit higher. So there's lots of orders lying in this area. Sell orders. So you can pick up that money and come back down with it. Down lower, there's some more buy orders waiting down here. And that's what, some demand. Where did I see it? There you go. There's more down here. So if it carries on down, you'll probably pick up some more waiting in this area over here. Now, I don't want to overcomplicate it for you guys. I don't want to make it a big, complicated issue, this whole story. I don't want to confuse you with support and resistance, and I don't want you to have too many indicators on the chart, especially when you're starting out. It's just that somebody asked me about supply and demand, so I thought I'd just show you what supply and demand is. You can use it in tandem with your support and resistance, with confluence. It can show you kind of where, with your market structure and with your support and resistance, if you're in a good place or a bad place, it can give you some confluence. And you can trade supply and resistance quite successfully if you pick it up in the market. And there's a lot of good trading that can come from it. But like I say, I don't want to confuse you, and I don't want you to be trading too many different systems. I'm only telling you this because somebody did ask. And the nice thing about supply and demand is you can use it in a very similar manner as to what you would use support and resistance. In other words, you can keep your stop loss just above, like here, for example, if you were going short on this particular supply area here, or this particular now area, you decide you want to go short here, you can put your stop loss just above that area and take the short when it shows you here as well. If you decide you're going to go long here, there's a green bar out of here, you can put your stop loss just below the area. So it's very similar to support and resistance. It's not difficult to trade it. You can also add trend lines in for confluence if you want to see what's happening, and if you know, like here you can see the structure has been broken. In gold, the structure is completely broken. So the bullish trend is now over. It's broken that. And if you weren't using this, well, what was a demand area and has now become some kind of resistance, then your trend line would be your next resistance. So in other words, what that would be is, let me try and get rid of this little arrow over here. What that would be is it comes back up to the trend line and then bounces off that and goes down short. So it probably won't break back through here. That's just simple supply and demand and what it's all about. And I just threw in a bit of trend line on top of that just for interest's sake. But yeah, that's how it works, guys, and it's pretty much the only way you can trade it. Don't look for supply levels or demand levels where there isn't a clear, like here's a nice clear one. You see there was a nice clear long green, long red bars going out. That gives you a clear area to look at, and that would be your supply level up there. And clearly it looked for it down here, picked it up and picked up the orders and dumped off. That's how it works. So now you know how to trade with supply and demand. Now you've seen the charts, you've seen how it works and what the basis of the whole thing is. Look, the basis of supply and demand is what is supply, what is demand. It's all about the money or the orders that are lying in wait for you to go and grab. So you go and grab an order in supply, or you go and grab an order that's lying in demand. There's a whole lot of stop losses lying there. There's a whole lot of orders lying there. And the reason we presume this is, as I've said, is because of the vast movement from that area. It normally tells a little secret, and that's what we use the charts for. We use the charts to tell us those little secrets, and you can normally see this within the market structure. You can normally see these little areas developing in the market structure. So yeah, keep an eye on that, and if you learn to trade with supply and demand, you can use it as confluence with your support and resistance. But do me a favor, don't get confused. Don't confuse yourselves, because I find a lot of traders confusing themselves in the market with regards to trading all these different systems and using all these different systems. And I've noticed it, like I said, I noticed a few of you guys getting overcomplicated again. Don't get overcomplicated. Keep it simple, keep it straight, don't go mad. Next video, we're going to talk about how to enter and exit trade efficiently, the best way to get in and out of a trade. So the next video is on Wednesday, so come back for that, and we'll talk about that. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, until Wednesday, cheers, thanks, and bye.